Hello and welcome to The Recipe, brought to you by Filippo Berio. I'm your host, Theo Randall, Chef Patron at Theo Randall Cucina Italiana. In each episode, I'll meet a special guest who loves food, and they'll be telling me all about their favourite recipe as we celebrate the stories behind the dishes that define us. In today's episode, we're joined by a chef who has cooked for some of the biggest names in football. He's Michelin trained, a social media star, and after more than a decade cooking for Premier League players, he's ready to share his secrets with the world in his brand new cookbook, The Private Chef, Everyday Cooking. Please welcome to the show, Jonny Marsh. Jonny Marsh, it's a real pleasure to have you on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
So this programme is all about meaningful dishes.
Mm-hmm.
What dish are you going to cook for us today?
Today we're making my Thai green... I felt like a little bit of stars in the eyes when I said that. Today we're making my Thai green curry.
And why Thai green curry?
There was a player that had a real bad iron deficiency when I first started with him, but he loved Asian food, but he wouldn't really experiment with anything else. But when I spoke to like the nutritionists and things like that, we tried a smoothie, but he wouldn't have a smoothie. So I was like, well, let's try like a Thai green curry, let's sort of do it. And I made it him at first, and he was like, why is it cream? Like, why is it not green? And I was like, oh, okay, like, let's make it green. So all I did was I blended like half a kilogram of spinach through it, right?
He never knew.
And he never knew. Yeah. He goes, oh yeah, now this is right, because it's Thai green curry. And I was like, okay, listen, that's fine. And from then on, it just, honestly, it solved him. And he had that once a week or twice a week.
Well, I can't wait to see it. So, I mean, just about you are a Michelin star trained chef. Mm-hmm. You work for Manoir Quatre Saisons. Yeah. I mean, what a brilliant restaurant, Raymond Blanc. Tell us about that. How did that did you start as a stage? Was it apprenticeship?
So when I was 14, I started working at Le Petit Blanc in Manchester for free on the weekends. And then when I was 15, he came up to Manchester, the general manager called Jamie Jones. He rang him and said, look, I think you should have a look at a young lad we've got here. He's a bit too keen. and he came down, and he said to me, like, do you want to come down for a couple of days? And I didn't really understand it properly at that point. And I was going down in my holidays from 15 onwards, like February, October, Christmas, summer. And I would go down for a week, 2 weeks at a time. And then I started my apprenticeship when I was 18. Down there, yeah. So I was there for a while, and then I went from there. I was head chef of Super Yachts. I was head chef in,
Super Yachts.
Yeah, that
was fun.
Yeah. It had its days, shall we say, but it was, overall it was amazing.
I've done a few of those, and it's quite hard work because you work all day long. Everyone thinks it's really glamorous, but it's not, because you're just below deck working like a dog. Yeah, literally like below. I watched Below Deck and went, I'll have a bit of that, right? And that is not the case. No, and I worked on a private yacht, so it was, this guy was on it for 9 months straight, and I had 2 or 3 days off. Yeah. And he never left, and it'd be like 1, 2 in the morning, he'd come back with his mates. He had his wife in there, and they'd come back, or they'd be on the deck and say, Jonny, we want some food. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, let's do, what would you like a cheese board, a crudité, burgers? And you're like, okay, no problem. Pasta at midnight.
Yeah, and you just think, oh my God. And then he's up at 5 because he was Australian, so his working day was completely opposite to ours. So I had to be up at 5, making his tea, his tablets, his biscuits, and then his eggs.
My God, yeah. It's hard work.
Relentless.
Yeah. So how did you get from there to being, you are famous for cooking for some pretty famous people, especially Premier League footballers?
Yeah, so I came back from the yacht. I saved up a little bit of money, and I thought, right then, I've managed a yacht, I've managed people, I've managed sort of accounts, because we've got given a budget per person each day. So I came back feeling pretty damn good about myself, I'll be honest with you. So good. I came back with a couple of grand, and I was like, right, I'm going to do event. Never done an event in my life, but I'm going to do event.
You did an event every day, 3 times a day, of course.
But I'm going to do an event at a BBC home show, right? Okay. So I didn't just go from local little cafes or local little food markets. I went from, non-league to World Cup within space of a week. A little bit naive, I sort of got told a couple of things that I think they misled me a little bit, but basically I ended up having to lend money from my mum. I took loans out from the bank. I put all my money in, and they said to me, right, there's 250,000 people they're going to be passing through in 4 days. And I'm thinking, there's no way I'm not making money here. Yeah. I was even, I was at the car shops, even shopping, say, I'll see you Monday, boys, right? Get it ready for me, right?
Confidence.
Yeah, and so I decided to do pies. I thought, right, I'm Northern, I've grown up on pies. I know how to make a steak, a chicken, and a veggie. There's no one better than me at this place. So I go in, and I'm getting all these numbers. I have cooked for the 5,000. I've rented space, I've cooked all the food, I've stored it, I've frozen everything. First day I sold like 6 pies, okay? It's funny now because everything's turned out well. Right. And then the second day I sold about 12, right? And I'm thinking, I had to go home. I was still living at my mum's, and I went back to my mum. Something's got to change quite rapidly because we are sinking here, right? So we went to Tesco and we bought all this sort of like doilies and all these little patterns to try and make it look a bit more. It looked like a B-Tech version of a cafe. It was like dreadful. And we were situated right next to a pulled pork, and they just queued all around me. So I never got any sort of traction. Saturday, Sunday, we sold about 300 pies, both, like maybe all together. So it was a dreadful, dreadful 4 days and a real eye-opener. I was about 35 grand in debt, had to take more loans out to pay people back because I was like, I can't have people like that out of pocket. And then I got a job working for a guy in Manchester, like a part-time job, because he was trying to go for a star. And I was working like 15, 16 hours a day. I'd go home, I'd email, I'd send messages to hundreds of people a day, try and get dinner parties, sandwich drop-offs, anything I could just get something on weekends or in the week. And the only person to call me back was the player liaison officer at Man City. That was it.
Well, that's pretty good.
I know.
I mean, you don't get better than that.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
And then she just said to me, she was like, Kevin De Bruyne wants his Christmas doing this.
Kevin De Bruyne wants you to do his Christmas.
Yeah. For the first week, and I was like, yeah, sound. So I went over to him and I said, and he was so adamant. He was like, Jonny, I'm going to say it from the outset, we do not want a chef. I said, okay, fine, no problem. Because I'd arranged a stage for like mid-Jan to end of Jan to go to Noma, and that was the dream. So I was saving up for that place. So I was treating that stage as like, that's my gateway into Noma. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it was like a 4 or 5 month stage, but as you know, like you don't get paid. So like I had to pay for accommodation, I had to pay for everything and things like that. And I was there with Kevin for the week. So then he says to me, like, say, 1st or 2nd of Jan, he just says, look, have you ever done meal preps for athletes? And I was like...
This is Kevin De Bruyne.
Kevin De Bruyne, yeah.
Wow.
Him and his wife were in the island. And I was like, God, yeah, of course I have. I've done them loads. I've done every athlete you can ever think of.
You are so confident.
I was.
I love it. I mean, you're so confident. The fact that story about the pies is just fascinating. But going in with that like knowledge or passion or confidence or maybe stupidity.
It's stupidity, I think. I love a risk and I love taking all the chances, but I think the stupidity masks it all. I'm always willing to give stuff a go. And I was just like, yeah, of course I can do it. No problem at all. I said, give me a couple of days. So this was like a Tuesday. I said, let's start Monday. Yeah. So I went home that night and I was like, I have got nothing here. Like, how the hell am I going to meal prep? So I was just on YouTube, just sort of scouring around. I was meant to be doing work and all of a sudden you end up watching random YouTube channels, okay? And there was a guy that was just doing a bit of sous vide chicken. And obviously I've come from a quite good background with food and we used to sous vide the stuff and, you know, stuff like that all the time. So I was very sort of familiar with that technique. And he just said something. He said to me, he was like, oh yeah, I sous vide all my steak and my fish and my chicken because I don't have to use any oil, salts or anything like that. I can just keep it really clean and really simple. And that was the light bulb. And I was like, that's my USP.
Healthy food.
Right there. And I was like, I can freeze the chicken, I can cook 500 for one, and every single chicken's going to be perfect every single time. So I was like, that's my USP. And then I turned that into the veg packets, and then it grew from there, and all of a sudden we were doing 40 people a week.
Wow, so you were doing pretty much the whole of the Man City team? So
I was doing about 6 or 7 of the players privately in the evenings, and then I was sending food out each week as well, yeah.
So you've won Premier League titles from your cooking?
I'd hope to say so.
I read somewhere that Erling Haaland always has a lasagna before he plays. Is that right?
I've done Hoyland, not Haaland.
Okay.
But his diet is, I mean, I don't know whether you've seen it recently, his YouTube with the raw milk and steak.
Yes.
He's gone really carnivore diet with his food. But I would say pre-match is very, very superstitious with players. So a lot of English will always have bolognese because that's what they've grown up on. The mum's always made them a bolognese or make them pasta and things like that. I would say more sort of Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, German. They'll sort of dabble in most sort of pastas, but they eat a lot lighter than the English.
Because I remember the old days, it was like, the Premiership, the First Division players would have steak and chips, before they'd eat huge amounts of fat. And I mean, they're supreme athletes now. I mean, they run so fast. and they must burn, what, 6,000-7,000 calories?
Stupid amounts of calories.
I mean, they must be crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. Like, they must run 12, 13 kilometres a game nowadays. It's mental.
So when you're creating these recipes, you must be thinking not just how they taste and how they look, but the nutritional value as well. And I guess this recipe, you're going to show us how to kind of almost hide vegetables.
I'll be honest with you, that is my biggest task and my challenge, is because these guys, I know they're seen as these incredible role models. They are amazing people, but they are, a lot of the time, they're kids.
Yeah, of course.
Like, they're 18, 19, exactly.
Yeah.
I had a guy called Aaron Ramsey, which was, one of the reasons why we were doing this recipe. And it was just an amazing thing to be able to give him something, and he had no idea what it was. And that was the best part about it. He loved the taste, he loved the flavour, but he's also getting an insane amount of nutrients out of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You have released your first cookbook?
Yes.
The Private Chef?
Yes.
I mean, brilliant looking book.
Thank you.
I mentioned to you earlier on about it looks a little bit like a Bill Granger book. Perfect. And Bill Granger, for me, sadly passed away, but is one of the most inspirational cooks because he created beautiful food that was healthy. And it was kind of like the first one that sort of do the kind of all-day dining. You could eat any of these meals any time of the day. And I have to say, your books kind of reminds me of his books, which is a huge compliment.
Thank you very much.
And I'm loving this book. So let's go and start cooking your Thai green curry. I'm fascinated by it.
Perfect.
So Thai green curry, what's in it?
So the paste is garlic, ginger, spring onion, chilli, lemongrass, and my favourite ingredient, kaffir lime leaf.
It's an amazing smell, isn't it?
It's a lovely smell.
God, that smell.
So it's just really rough, only using the green bits of the spring onion. Just going to chop it all up, because it's Thai green curry. We want to keep it as green as we possibly can.
That's a nice knife. Is that yours?
It's a lovely knife.
Yeah, gorgeous.
And it's really light. Feel that as well. I love how light it is.
Wow.
Put that straight into a bowl.
Shall I put the rice on?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
And then we're going to roughly chop a chilli. If you want to take the seeds out, it's perfectly fine. I quite like it spicy. Again, just go straight into the bowl. Then, for me, I'm a big one. If you're going to put garlic in it, put garlic in it.
Put garlic in, yeah. It's either 1 clove thinly sliced or 10 cloves.
Don't fluff around it. If you're going to put it in, hit me with garlic. I want to be smelling of it for 3 days.
There's a lot of garlic in Thai food, isn't there? Yeah.
God, like you come away from Asia and you'll be smelling of garlic and ginger for a month.
Yeah. So you're bashing that lemongrass. What does that actually do?
So it releases all the flavour, but it also makes it a bit easier to chop as well.
With that knife, you can chop anything.
I know.
Yeah. So you're going to chop that all up, and you're going to use that much lemongrass.
Do you know this recipe is for about 8 portions?
Okay.
So it's not just for one, but I'm one of these chefs where I don't want it to be delicate. If you're having a curry and we're having something like this, I want it to slap me around the face.
You want to be tasting it an hour later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even when it sort of marinates within the pan, it only gets stronger. When you put it in the freezer to portion it out, it only gets better. I don't want it to be like, it's okay, it's nice. I want it to be like, whoa.
So when you were cooking for like 3-4 Premiership footballers a night, and you were saying you were cooking from live, you were literally going to the house, and it's like doing 3 services. Were you cooking them the same thing, or did you have like a separate?
See, this is where my world started changing, because it got to a point where my very first player was Christian Eriksen in the evening, and I would go to his house, I'd cook for him and his wife and his kids. They would all have different dishes.
Oh no!
So then
they all want a different dish.
Yes. So him and his wife would have a certain dish, and then the kids would have something else, which was fine.
Yeah.
And then I'd go to Ian Matson, who was on loan at Burnley from Chelsea at the time. I'd go to his house straight after. Luckily, it was about 75 metres away. So I was
living the same road. Yeah. That's handy.
Very lucky. And I'm just going to rip up these kaffir lime leaves just to help them out and break that smell fragrance around.
I'm just chopping up your veg.
And then he would have something different, because he was very into stews and real thick, nice heavy flavours. Then I'd go from there to Luke Shaw. He liked something light. Kirk Jones as well would like something light. It's always one of them things where my days ended up being like really cool to just chaos and ordering all these ingredients. I ended up starting, using a supermarket to having a full-blown supply. by the end of like...
You'd have to.
It was absolutely nuts.
And what about timings? I mean, did you have like a booking system? So like, Kevin De Bruyne eats at 6 and someone else eats at 7:30.
It really was like that, yeah. So like, I would go in and say, look, these are the times available and this is it. Luckily, what enabled me to get to 4 people in the evening was Danish people eat really early.
Yes.
So when I used to do Kasper Schmeichel the year before, he left for Nice, and then I got Christian Eriksen when he came in. I knew that they ate really early, so I was like, I can fit Christian in. That's great. And then my biggest issue was every player from say Ian Matson, his parents were African descent, so he ate like, as you know, like late growing up. Yeah. So I had Maxwell Cornet as well, who's from Ivory Coast. I'd go to his house and it'd be like 9:45. And I'd be like, Maxwell, we've got to start serving. He goes, no, I don't eat yet. And I'm like, yeah, but I sleep now.
Was this during the week or was this after a match?
During the week. So Monday to Friday, like every day.
So, I mean, after a match, they must have been thinking, right, I can celebrate a bit. I can be a bit more, relax a bit more and eat less healthy.
The day after a game, it was, free for them, basically. Could have whatever they wanted. But yeah, it was, it's a great job. And it's really cool. You learn about all these different cultures, national dishes, what everybody likes to eat and things like that. And it's something I really, really enjoy doing. So this is how it comes out. So it's just broken down, but I know.
Wow. That just says Thai green curry to me.
If we're going to do it properly, is my eyes.
Absolutely.
It's phenomenal. So then, just going to heat up a pan,
a
little bit of oil. One of the big things as well is when I'm making a sauce, I love making sauces a lot, and I really love making curries. And one of the big things that I like to do is I don't like to blast it with heat.
No.
I don't like to blast it with heat.
I think that's where people go so wrong with a lot of cooking is they cook they're impatient. They want to cook everything really super fast. Yeah. But any kind of curry or any kind of stew or any kind of vegetable-based dish, you have to be patient. And if you cook things slowly, they just taste so much nicer.
You just got to have that patience. And I think that becomes when I was a young. I mean, I'm a young chef.
You're still young, Jonny.
I'm 34 now.
You're still young.
I've been doing this 20 years. But I used to bash a thing. I used to be like, how quick can I be? How quick can I do? And I think there's a chef sort of turning point is having that sort of experience to slow down and let things sort of nurture, but also that sort of line whenever you feel as a chef has reached this sort of where he's comfortable with, it's when stuff isn't on the plate as much. Yeah. It's a lot less busy, it's a lot less quiet, it's a lot more quiet.
Less is more.
Exactly.
But also that thing of being a chef is you can do 3 things at the same time. You've got something in the oven, you've got something cooking on the side there. You can sort of dibble and dabble and everything sort of comes in the perfect time. That's when you know you're kind of on the right track.
And that's when the adrenaline starts to kick in, isn't it?
Do you miss that? Do you miss that sort of restaurant
You know what?
adrenaline?
I do miss it the odd time, and I do get a craving for it. And to be honest with you, I go to work and I'm back in bed by 10 o'clock and you think, you know what, the craving's gone. So I don't fancy the 1 a.m. finishes anymore. I don't want to do it. I just
washing that extractor.
You know what it was? It was cleaning the copper pans. Oh, that's the PTSD I've got.
That was my first job.
Yeah,
it was cleaning copper pans.
It was one of mine as well.
It was, I don't miss them.
So you see here, I'm not blasting it with any heat. It's just on a sort of a medium to high heat. And we're just going to sweat that down, and the smell is immediate.
It's incredible. I mean, I'm getting that lemongrass and the garlic's really coming through,
And that's sort of, you've always got this citrusy, then you've got the fish sauce, you've got the sugar, the salt, everything just comes together right at the end.
So when you were doing all your sort of sous vide cooking,
yes.
I mean, you must have been making pretty large batches of dishes like this.
To make it worth it, yeah. You're right. That is a proper chefy way of thinking. I used to rent a freezer in this food supplying place. And I would probably make about 300 chicken breasts, 100 steaks, 100 salmons, 100 cods, and just sort of sous vide and freeze them.
So you would then take that to whoever was buying it, and they would just reheat it in water.
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that I've not got a bit of a to do with meal prep companies now, but one thing I noticed when I was doing meal preps was everything heats up at different times, and I think that's a very chefy way of thinking about it. Because I cared about how it looked on the plate, not how it looks in a box. I don't care how it comes in a box. I really don't.
No, sure.
So I cared about how it ended up on your plate. So I worked out really quickly that, the meat heated up the rice heated up second, and the veg always heated up and ended up being overcooked by the time everything was hot. So I had a real big sort of eureka moment of saying, I don't care how this looks in a box. I really don't. How it looks on a plate. And like everyone sort of agreed once they tried it.
But what I like about your book is you've got that sort of balance of kind of quite slightly extravagant, but also very healthy. I mean, I love the beetroot carbonara. I mean, that just looks incredible. Yeah. But tell me about the beetroot carbonara. I mean, what do? Do you cook the pasta in the beetroot juice?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm a bit of an Italian's worst nightmare in this dish, and I get that, it's going to break a lot of hearts, but it's one of them dishes where it had a purpose as well. Yeah. So beetroot naturally enhances exercise performance. So I remember thinking when I started creating it, I was like, how can I just get beetroot into a dish when these guys won't eat it? So I ended up thinking, okay then, let's cook it. Let's cook the pasta in there, see how it goes. And it came out way better than I thought it was going to come out.
Well, you tried it, that's great. I mean, also the thing is, it must have been like dealing with children. So you've got to find some way of getting that vegetable into the protein.
Well, that's it. And it's one of them things where one of my biggest, that is literally my biggest problem within the business is trying to get some players to eat veg. So what I did was, I went through a phase of doing these big steaks and these big shows and sort of like going full Nusret on them and bringing it to the table and sort of like wearing sunglasses in the house to sort of like cut them and then feed it with them on the knife. And then I'd do all this and say, could you just please eat the tender stem? Please, just save me.
They just eating a kilo of beef and then the vegetables were all left on the side. And
they loved the show, and I just knew how to get to them at one point.
So you fried the base off.
Yes.
And then now we've got the coconut milk in there.
And we're just going to bring that heat right down. And we're going to let this simmer for around about 20 minutes. Okay. Like even now the smell and the flavour's already there.
I'm going to taste it.
And then once
it's really come through.
Once this is with salt, a bit of sugar, palm sugar if you want, fish sauce. Yeah. This is really going to hit the spot. So once this is now simmered, you can see here what I was saying before. It's got a bit of a thickness to it. So this, we know that that's not going to be too runny. Yeah. I would rather, and I always save just a touch of coconut milk, because if it does need a bit of thinning, we can do it naturally, rather than adding water or stock or anything like that.
So you leave a little bit in the tin?
Yeah, just a little bit. We're just going to add that to the blender. There we go. I've been shouted off too many times in kitchens for spilling stuff like that. I don't want to get shouted on here. We're going to chop the coriander.
All of it? All the stalks and everything?
Yeah, just get it all in. Yeah. Stalks is where the goodness is at. Yeah. And then that goes straight in. As well, like, don't be soft with it. Don't be soft with it, We've got a lot here. And yes, it's a bit of an outlay and you think, oh my God, it might cost like 25, 30 quid to make. But you've got 8, 9, 10 portions here. Sure. So you've got enough there for at least your evening meals in the week. Big handful.
So this is where your hiding veg comes in.
This is it.
Yeah.
2 big handfuls of baby spinach. Yeah. And then we're just going to whiz that up until it's nice and smooth. So sauce is blended.
So yeah,
we're going to crack on with the chicken. I'm just going to slice it in half, and I just want to make it just thin. Do you know what I mean? Just
so really small little pieces.
Really nice little shivers. Yeah. Nothing too fancy.
So this is going to cook really quickly. So basically, most of the cooking has been done.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's just frying off the chicken.
This is a stir fry from now.
Yeah, that's great.
But it's also, so this dish and how it developed like this was because I didn't have time to be cooking a big breast of chicken in houses. Gotcha. So I needed to be prepped, ready, bang, bang, bang.
Perfect. So you get there, you put the rice on, you come with
rice is already done.
The rice already done?
Yeah. I treat the prep exactly like mise en place. Okay. Everything's already cooked. I warm it up in the microwave, I warm it up in some kettle, and just go from there. I'm literally finishing dishes when I get to houses.
So you have everything made. It's just, but the chicken you cook to order.
Yes. Yeah. All meats and proteins are always cooked to order.
Yeah. I love that. Such a chefy chat. Cooked to order.
Yeah. I can't do everything beforehand. There's always a minute, shall we say.
And that's how you can do three different footballers in one night. Yeah.
Organised within the inch of my life I was.
Yeah. So chicken breast, can you use chicken thigh?
You can use chicken thigh if you want to reduce cost, but it's a little bit fattier. Yeah. Some people prefer thigh, some people prefer breast. If you're on a bit of a weight loss journey, breast is the way to go. So add a little bit of olive oil to your wok. So we're just going to add the chicken to the wok.
So basically cutting it thinly will get it a bit of colour on there without drying the chicken out.
Exactly.
So it stays nice and juicy. So this is very dry cooking. I mean, we haven't used very much oil here.
Yeah.
But I guess it really helps having a really good wok.
I was just going to say, as long as you've got a really good non-stick wok or non-stick pan.
But I think that's the secret of really healthy cooking, is having a non-stick pan.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to add lots of oil or butter or...
I agree. If you invest in your pans will look after you. Yeah. Same with your knives.
Yeah. Well, think about it, you say that. If you don't sharpen your knife, you've got to, it won't work. It's the same with your pans. If you don't wash them carefully or wipe the pan. I mean, a pan like this, where's your rubber spatula? I mean, that's key.
Yeah.
For a pan like this, because if you start using a spoon, it's going to take the non-stick top off. Yeah. Or just do this. Do a chefy thing. Jonny, how do you sharpen your knives? How do you tell us about pans? How do you sharpen your knives?
I'm a whetstone guy.
Are you?
Yeah. And I used to be a butcher's steel. I used to be a regular diamond steel. So that's when I first started out on my apprenticeship. If you couldn't shave your forearms, you weren't allowed to leave the kitchen. A sharp knife is a safe knife.
Oh gosh! Wow, you could shave with that.
You can.
That is incredible.
You could shave your beard with that.
Yeah. So whetstone and then a little bit on a steel, or just whetstone?
Just whetstone.
And then a little bit of water when you do it.
Yeah. So I soak the stones, or you can get stones that you don't need to soak. I start on a 320 gradient, and I work up to 1,000 to 3,000.
So if you were going to say to any young budding cook, what's the best knife to buy? What 3 knives would you buy?
I'd buy something like this. I don't know what this sort of style's called.
It's a cook's knife for veg.
Yeah. And it's got a great point. So for me, that's like onions, things like that. So you can quickly chop, bang, 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 in and out. Because I love a point. Really big on a point. Then you want a really good quality chef knife, long, that can break down lobsters. Exactly. You can break down a lobster. You can cut through sweet potatoes, big butternut squash, pumpkins. You need something as big, sturdy, and it's got a good thickness to the steel.
A thick.
Yeah. And then a great paring knife.
So that's it. Just a paring knife.
Three knives. Any young chef, that's more than enough. And then, obviously, from there, depending on the sections that you're going on, boning knife, filleting knife, slicing knife, and stuff like that. But I think people. I say this, I've got about 40 knives at home, but I only use like 4 of them.
I know.
I get them because you see them on pictures and videos, you think, you know what, I'm going to get one of them. But these guys are cutting big 50-kilogram tunas, and I'm buying swords that I'll never use.
You've got to get the bluefin tuna before you get the knife.
Yeah.
So when you're on these super yachts, I mean, was there any fishing going on?
All the time. So the owner of the yacht was a really keen deep fisherman, and he's from Australia, so they used to go out and they were massive on fishing. So we used to always cast the lines out whenever we'd go from port to port, and we used to catch mahi-mahi all the time.
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Mahi-mahi.
Chicken of the sea.
Yeah.
I got told.
Delicious.
Stunning. It's got real sort of firm texture to it, and we used to literally cut it. I would break it down on the deck. I'd cook it right then and there. It was amazing. We'd either have like a sashimi or sushi or
I always think it's a little bit like sea bass and tuna.
That's a great thing.
Yeah, because you don't want to overcook it with tuna, but it's got that sort of rich, slightly fatty taste. And you must have got tuna as well, no?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So you'd need
not many though. I think we got 1 or 2, but mahi-mahi was a real regular.
Yeah.
A real regular when we were going through it.
How lovely.
So once this is cooked, you can see it here, this is cooked. This is cooked now. But if you want a little bit more colour on, we're just going to drain it. Just take away all that moisture, because moisture is not going to ever give you that flavour. It's always going to cool the pan down.
So what would you do with that juice left over?
You know what? If your sauce is too thick, you could use that.
Yeah.
If not,
so the essence is don't throw anything away. You mentioned the coconut milk.
Yeah.
Put all the coconut milk, leave it a little bit back.
Yeah, always.
Same with the juice.
Because you never know.
Yeah.
You can always add, you can't remove.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't say a truer word.
So I've learned the hard way.
We all have.
So once this is reheated again, straight back in. And that now is not going to boil, it's going to fry.
So shall I go with these?
Yeah, straight in. And again, we're just going to season as well. I like to season in stages. I'm a big one for start, middle, end.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I think that's the problem a lot of cooking at home. People are so worried about the salt content.
Yeah.
And, they're not putting enough salt when you start.
Exactly that. I used to tell my mum and dad whenever they would say, oh yeah, but it tastes way nicer at the restaurant. I was like, yeah, because they're using about 3 or 4 more tablespoons of salt.
Yeah. It's like cooking pasta or vegetables. If you don't put, classic like a mashed potato.
Yeah.
If you don't put the salt with the potato at the beginning, it's going to have no flavour whatsoever.
I agree, exactly that. And to the sauce, I'm just going to add probably 1.5 tablespoons of salt. And the same again with sugar. I mean, you can use palm sugar for this. This is just some caster sugar.
So, Jonny, is this recipe in your new cookbook?
It is, and this is one of the staples in the new cookbook. It's one of them ones that I would, when chefs die on a hill on a recipe, this is my, I guarantee you'll never have a better Thai green curry.
I bet you there are quite a few chicken recipes in your cookbook.
There's a lot of chicken, man. There's a lot of If you like chicken, the book's for you. That there's perfect. So, we're going to add the sauce. No, we're not. We're going to add the Monch too. I'm jumping ahead.
Jump in.
Straight in. And as you know, I mean, I'm sure we're going to have elite home cooks listening to this, but Monch 2 is a 30-second, 45-second jobby.
I love a Monch 2.
Yeah.
I think they're delicious.
Okay, so we're just wanting to keep the structure of that Monch 2. We're going to go straight in with the Thai green sauce. So if you see how green that is.
Look at that. That's all that spinach.
Beautiful.
This feels really healthy.
Oh, it is. It's not just healthy, it's blooming tasty as well.
Yeah.
So again here, we're going to turn that right down. There's no need to boil the heck out of it now. All the work's been done. It's just the smell, look how green that is.
Yeah, amazing.
It's almost like eating a hot Asian green smoothie.
Yeah, it is almost like a smoothie in some way, isn't it?
It's a beautiful
savoury
dish.
smoothie.
Yeah, and that's it. That's really it.
Look at that.
We're going to portion it out with a little bit of jasmine rice you've had cooking here.
Yeah.
And we're good to go. So just going to portion this out.
Colour of that. It hasn't changed colour at all. I guess that's because it hasn't been cooked for that.
Exactly, like it hasn't been blasted.
Makes perfect sense. The chicken's all cooked through. You're adding that delicious sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're just going to put some rice on top.
And it just shows as well, like with just a couple of ingredients, a little bit of knowledge, that sort of patience in terms of not boiling the heck out of the sauce, you can create something that lasts you a couple of weeks. You can freeze it, you can eat it straight away, serve it to a dinner party, serve it to anybody. I guarantee people are coming back for more when they've eaten this. Hit me with the rice in each one, right smack in the middle.
Yes, chef.
Oh no, don't be calling me chef, please. You're way too big to be calling me chef. And each one as well, we're just going to finish it off with a little bit of sashimi pepper on top.
God, I love that. I love that hit Szechuan pepper.
Yeah. So that's it, like it marries up perfectly with the citrus, but that is my Thai green curry blended with spinach and coriander.
That is beautiful, my friend. Jonny, this looks incredible. What's the difference between this and a traditional Thai green curry?
Well, it's not got coriander and spinach blended through it, but it's not as sort of eye-hurtingly green either. But for me, it feels so much fresher. For me, it's obviously got that massive health benefits as well.
It smells incredible. I've got to taste that. I can't wait any longer.
It's a wonderful dish, honestly. I really do. And you know what it is? It's great as well because the thickness of the sauce can marry perfectly with noodles. It can go with anything. If you want to thin it down, you could almost make a Thai green ramen. It's a really flexible dish.
I feel like I'm eating something really, really tasty but very healthy as well at the same time.
And that cafe lime shines through.
And the chicken's sort of lovely because it's not big chunks, it's sort of slices.
Yeah, exactly. For me, what it was when I started to eat this dish, and whenever I sort of eat something, I always sort of think, well, how can I make something better? For me, it was cutting the chicken thinner and smaller. It makes it easier with everything on a plate in a spoon. So like you're not going like with a chicken.
Or you're using a knife and fork, yeah.
Everything's the same size, so it's easy just to put it onto a plate, a little bit of rice, peppers, Monch 2, chicken, you can get a full bite of everything.
It's absolutely delicious. So when you look at a recipe, like a classic recipe, like a Thai green curry, do you look at it and think, right, I love this recipe, but how am I going to make this healthier?
Oh my God, yeah. I think end game before I think start. I think, how can I make this healthier than what it is? Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really delicious.
Then you've also got to marry in as well, like some people hate coriander, some people hate spinach, some people hate certain ingredients. So what can I change? What can we do that's different to other recipes that, they're still going to get the benefits out of it as well?
Yeah, I think, you think about comfort food, and comfort food always tends to be associated with being quite sort of fatty and heavy. But this, to me, feels like healthy comfort food. And I think that's what's so lovely about your book. You've got all these recipes that are actually indulgent, but they're healthy.
Exactly. And like for me, this could easily be a Saturday evening when you've got a couple of mates around. It could be a Tuesday when you get it out the freezer and you're late home from work. You can prep in advance. It's meal prep friendly. It's really beneficial in terms of nutrients and vitamins and everything like that running through it. It's so fresh and flavoursome. And I guarantee you're not going to get, if you were to make a Thai green curry from a traditional, I think this has got a bit more flavour.
But it's such a good thing to have that Thai green base and then just, put it in the freezer, take it out, fry off your chicken, add the vegetables, add it. I mean, it's genius, absolute genius. What was it like writing a cookbook? I mean, it was your first cookbook, and I think when you first write a cookbook, no one really tells you what to expect.
No.
I mean, what happened?
So for me, as I was saying before, like very naive into the process. I didn't realise or work out how the writing got on the pages. I thought that I could just sort of record the recipes and they would just end up there. But that's not the case.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work like that.
When people say, I have written this book and I have been annoyed at it, been frustrated with it, been happy with it, been now delighted with it, the outcome of it, but I have gone through every single word in this and I have written it. It's all on my laptop. It's all book number 1. Yeah. We did all the photography together with a great photographer and I cooked all the dishes for the book as well.
It really makes it feel like it's you. I mean, it's 100% you, isn't it? Yeah. And you look at that recipe and you remember the time of actually cooking that recipe. Yeah. No, it's...
If anyone says to me, what's in this recipe? And I used to be blown away by when chefs could say, oh, this recipe has got this, and this in it. I could tell you every recipe in that book. I've written them and I've done them so many times now.
So you're really big on social media. I mean, you've got a huge following and you're pretty, prolific on it. You do a lot. Are these recipes on your Instagram account?
Some are and some aren't. I would say, there's a third which are favourites. I've got a great section at the back called meat marinades with pastas and breads. The meat marinades for me is the best recipe, is the best chapter. I absolutely adore, and I'm a firm believer that marinating your meat will change the game in terms of home cooking. Yeah. I really do. I think people get bored of stuff because they don't know how to elevate the star of the dish, in my eyes. And you've got a great section on pasta and breads, and then you've got desserts, lunch and dinner, and fish.
Amazing. Well, look, good luck with the book.
Thank you very much.
That was absolutely delicious. I've really enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure to cook with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode of The Recipe with me, Theo Randall. As a reminder, you can find Jonny's full recipe on the Filippo Berio website at filippoberio.co.uk/Theo. And don't forget to order a copy of Jonny's brand new cookbook, The Private Chef, Everyday Cooking. Don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share the podcast wherever you listen. And join us next time as we cook up more inspiring dishes and the stories behind them. Until then, happy cooking.